This Sunday, 120 million people will watch Patriots versus Seahawks and experience genuine emotional trauma over a game they're not even playing in. You won't. And everyone thinks something's wrong with you. But here's the reality: your brain just refused a neurological hijacking that most people don't even know is happening. When fans watch their team, their testosterone actually spikes and crashes based on the score. Their brains literally can't tell the difference between watching the game and being in it. By the end of the video, you'll understand the three psychological mechanisms that hijack millions of brains every Super Bowl and why yours refuses to fall for it. Most people don't realize this, but caring intensely about the Super Bowl requires your brain to make a series of bizarre logical leaps. You have to convince yourself that the outcome of a game played by millionaires you've never met actually matters to your personal life. You have to assign meaning to something completely outside your control. You have to transform passive observation into identity. And some brains just look at that equation and go, yeah, no thanks. Psychologists call this resistance to parasocial spectacle. Your brain has a built in detector for emotional investments that don't yield actual returns. While everyone else is screaming at their television, creating core memories around a beer commercial, your neural circuitry is quietly asking, but why though? Research shows that people who don't engage with major sporting events like the Super Bowl often have what's called high cognitive need for authenticity. Your brain craves experiences where your participation actually matters, where your emotional energy creates real impact. Watching strangers throw a ball while corporations sell you things doesn't meet that threshold. You're not lacking passion. You just refuse to waste it on things that can't love you back. The moment kickoff happens, Super Bowl fanatics' brains release a cocktail of neurochemicals: adrenaline from the tension, dopamine from the anticipation, oxytocin from feeling connected to their tribe of fellow fans. It's basically a drug experience, except the drug is watching other people exercise. And every commercial break, every replay, every manufactured controversy, it's all designed to keep those chemicals flowing. The uncertainty of the outcome triggers the same neural pathways as gambling. Will they score? Will they win? Your brain doesn't know, so it stays locked in, feeding you micro hits of dopamine with every single play. People who don't care about the Super Bowl, their brains simply aren't hijacked by this mechanism. And this might actually be protective. Think about it. You're not spending 4 hours in a heightened state of stress over something you cannot influence. You're not tying your emotional well being to whether a field goal goes left or right. You're not Monday morning devastated because strangers lost a game. That's not boring. That's psychological stability. Not caring about the Super Bowl often correlates with something called internal locus of control. You derive satisfaction from things you can actually affect: your accomplishments, your relationships, your creative projects, your personal growth. External validation from vicarious victories doesn't register as meaningful because you didn't actually do anything. When someone says, "We won the Super Bowl," you're thinking, "No, you watched the Super Bowl. They won. You just ate nachos on a couch." Your brain refuses to blur that distinction. For many people, not caring about the Super Bowl is about reclaiming time and mental space. 2 weeks of nonstop coverage, predictions, analysis, speculation. Hours and hours of content about a single game. Then the game itself, 4 hours minimum with commercials. Then the post game analysis, the social media commentary, the next day recap conversations. Your brain did the math. That's 20 plus hours of cognitive energy invested in something that will be completely irrelevant in 72 hours. That's not antisocial. That's resource management. Super Bowl Sunday has become a cultural loyalty test. If you're not watching, if you're not at a party, if you don't have an opinion about the halftime show, suddenly you're the weird one. People look at you like you just admitted you don't celebrate birthdays. You're experiencing what I call social script resistance. Society has written a script. This is important. You should care. Everyone participates. Your brain is going, show me the actual evidence that this matters. When none appears, you opt out. That takes genuine psychological independence. Most people are performing enthusiasm because that's what the script demands. You're refusing to perform. That's not deficiency. That's authenticity. Some people who don't care about the Super Bowl are actively annoyed by it. You can't escape it. Every conversation, every social media feed, every Monday meeting. You're being forced to acknowledge something you've already decided isn't worth your attention. That's not hatred of football. That's resentment of enforced participation in mass spectacle. Research on meaning making reveals that people find significance in vastly different places. Some find epic narrative in a championship game, the heroic underdog, the last minute comeback, the dynasty falling. Others find that same narrative depth in a novel they're reading, a problem they're solving, a conversation that changes how they see the world. Neither is superior. They're just different paths to the human need for story and transcendence. One group gets it from watching, the other gets it from doing. If you don't care about the Super Bowl, you're not missing some fundamental piece of the human experience. You're not culturally disconnected. You're not emotionally stunted. Your brain just has different criteria for what deserves your finite attention and emotional energy. In a world screaming for your focus every second of every day, that discernment might be your greatest asset. The next time someone asks, "Are you watching the big game?" and you genuinely could not care less, remember this: you're not weird or anything. You're just playing a different game entirely. One where the stakes are real, the outcome depends on you, and the victory actually means something. That's the only game worth winning. I thought I'd make this video for those who feel unrepresented in the world during the Super Bowl. If you liked the video, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.